Good morning, everybody. Of course, is the Gamer Smith back once again. Happy Tuesday. Of course, basically playing once again a little bit more Trove, basically getting a little bit more EXP, getting a little bit more of everything else. Hopefully, everybody's doing good this morning. Like I said, hopefully everybody's in good spirits, not drinking spirits. Just kidding. Of course, that's up to you what you want to do, but it's all within meaning of what you want to do. Anyway, regardless of that, I'm going to be doing some PvP this morning, of course, and doing everything else in between. So yeah. So awesome, awesome. All right, let's go and get this show on the road and see exactly what is going to happen today, of course. Basically, I'm going to be doing some PvP at the very beginning, and I'll be able to actually get that done. Of course, between the PvP, though, I'm going to go along and do some more questing and stuff like that. I want to be able to get that much more stuff done because, just waiting for the PvP to pop. I know I can get probably some pumpkins and stuff done and doing a few extra odds and ends. Now, I do have a gather an ore, and it doesn't matter about what ore or where I gather to. So I'm just going to go over to here to Geode top side, of course, to pick up that one piece of ore or whatever the case may be, and I'll be able to go along and get that done for today. Like I said, just basically starting my stream and try to get this done. Try to get the event done as well because of course I'm still basically the event is still going on for another little tiny bit. It's still roughly about another week left the event, but I always try to basically try to get everything done that needs to be done, of course. Now I gotta look for, because it's all to do with like the yearly events, and it only happens once a year, so I've got to basically make the best of it. And if I don't, I'll basically miss something in the game itself, and so on and so forth. Like I said, this is my morning stream, of course. Hopefully, I can actually do another late night stream or an afternoon stream. Depends on how my body and everything is feeling too at the same time. So yeah, I'm still working and trying to work around that, of course. But like I said, I never try to overwork myself because it's not worth it. It's to itself. But like I said, I do still enjoy streaming. I still enjoy you guys at the same time. And like I said, I don't mind giving suggestions and stuff as well. Like I said, to try to help you guys out as much as I can. Like I said, that's what my YouTube channel stuff is about. Like I said, I'm strictly a gamer myself. So, yeah. Anyway, regardless of that, I'm going to actually see what other adventures I can get done. Before I get the Bomber Royale, I can get the Wolves, I can get everything right now that I need to get done. Now I need to do, get 3 pumpkins. I need to do 5 pumpkin dungeons. I need to do a lot of stuff right now this morning. So I got to try to get this done and try to get the ball rolling for my own self, of course. And like I said, as I said before, just trying to get just the Trodness. Now, I don't know why in the heck they just put me back to here, because I never teleported back to there. I'm thinking there's another glitch in the game or something like that that's not basically put me into right where I should be. All right. Anyway, regardless of that, I've got to kill some werewolves and get some more QSs and of course, this is what this event is about, of course. But it's not a bad event itself. It's, like I said, it's an everyday repeat on itself. So it's not like super hard or anything like that. Just got to get some more Cubane and so on and so forth. Get some more Woolviges. I didn't know. Okay, that was weird. I just shot at one and just basically disappeared. All right. Anyway, just grabbing some more Cubane and some more Woolviges. And then I'm going to basically start doing my dungeons and stuff like that. I want to be able to get that done ASAP. Probably later on this week, or whatever the case may be, I will start putting out more games and so on and so forth. I just can't wait for, like I said, the beginning of next year. Like, I mean, with all the new games and stuff like that, and some of the really good games that's been remastered currently, and that's exactly what I've been look forward to play, and basically show you guys as well, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, I'm trying to put a little bit of money aside for that, and hopefully I'm back to work, so I can actually be able to can afford two of them exactly at the same time, so I can have just a little bit more content too as well. So it's just what it is. Like, I mean, I'm got my plan of getting into two games. I did mention it one of my streams before. It's just that they're not released yet. Of course, they're not. The very first one is the first month to 27th, which is the Dead Space, and then just shortly after that. Basically, there's going to be the other game, basically Fatal Frame, which is going to be quite interesting to add to my channel itself, and basically just give it a little bit more, basically watch time or whatever the case may be for those people too. Instead of this basically coming to my channel and looking at just, like I said, like only a few games. So it'll actually add a little bit more repertoire to it. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So, like I said, it's just something that I've been thinking about for a while, but I'm just glad that they're actually going to release some of the classics. Because, like I said, these classics, I will say they're classics and they're good games. Because it reminds me of a lot when I was actually younger, basically playing on the older consoles, and of course, like I'm talking about the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and I would love to see more games being remastered so I can actually be able to actually show them and showcase them, and that's exactly what I want to do. But yeah, it's just something that I was always thinking about doing. Like I said, even I wish I had a capture card. I could do the PlayStation 3, but a lot of my PlayStation 3 games, I don't have them with me right now currently because I got them in storage. So I've got to get, like I said, I can always basically call up a person and just get them to drop them off to me, whatever the case may be, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's exactly what I'll be doing, like I said, in the next little bit, because I love to be able to showcase more than just one game. Like, I mean, I do showcase a lot of the trove just because. Good morning, my friend, and how are you doing this morning? Or good evening. Yeah, it's evening probably for you, but it's still morning for me. Yay! I love those mornings, right? But anyway, regardless of that, how are you doing today, my friend? Or whatever the case may be. Hopefully you're doing great. Right now, yeah. Like, I mean, time slots are really weird. Like, I mean, when it comes to it, it's like, okay, is it morning, afternoon, or is it night? So, yeah. Oh, 3 p.m.? She's only 9:30 for me. So, yeah. It's a completely different time slot. But, it's what it is, It's a different part of the world. But like I said, I'm glad you're doing great. Like I said, I'm just doing like a little bit of trove here. I will be doing other games eventually. Yeah, you're basically almost a half a day ahead of me, which is kind of cool, because then you can tell me what my future is going to be. It's like people from the UK. It's like, I mean, they'd be like an 8 or 9. Trove is a good game, yes. But the only thing is, it does glitch a lot and it does crash quite a bit. But it's a good game itself when it comes to, like, I mean, you can help other people out. I don't mind helping other people out. But it's a lot more people that's playing on the PC. That's the biggest problem with that. This is the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 version of it. And, like, I mean, that's why I've said I like to be able to get on the PC to help more people out and stuff like that, because all my videos would help anybody with cross-platform, but there is no cross-platform for Trove. Absolutely none at all. So, Oh, well, GG, dude, GG. That's awesome, dude. Like, I mean, I know I've been trying for years to try to get a gun there. Well, I do. I started on PC at the very beginning, and what happened is I quit it on PC because I had so many games. Yeah, I know they're laggy, but I mean, when I'm using OBS and so on and so forth, I can actually have a background But when I'm actually doing it this way, I can't have a background. I can't have nothing like that. So when the game does crash, it literally crashes everything. This is one of the reasons why I like to play it. I'm not too much worried about the lag because I'm used to playing on different servers and stuff like that anyways, and different basically systems and so on and so forth. So I'm not too much worried about that. What I'm worried about more, so like I said, if I'm streaming and stuff like that, my stream it becomes very, basically, very crap. Like I said, if I get frame strip as, I got to start talking. I got to relearn English again. Basically, frame strips and so on and so forth, or screen tearing. It's what I'm worried about, at least when I'm streaming. So, like, I mean, if it's not happening, I'm not going to worry about it too much, you know? And like I said, if it's not too bad in that direction. But now I know, like I said, it can happen. It can happen even on the console to a point. But like I said, I find the console with less play, was a lot less players. I remember when this game first started. Right, no, I'm not talking about OBS crashing. I'm talking about the game. I'm talking about the game crashing. The OBS won't crash. Like, I mean, I have the resources to run OBS and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I can run OBS, I can run the web browser, I can do beta 1, 0.1, whatever. I can run all these three together. I know. But like I said, you got to remember, the more strain you put on the server and stuff like that too, if it's not supported by the RAM, it's not supported by the server, it will crash quite a bit. And like I said, this is exactly what I look at here. It does crash on the console quite a bit too. But I've seen people crash out, like I said, every 15 to 20 minutes on PC, but sometimes they'll get 2 or 3 hour runs. Now, I'm after getting that with a console, but it's not as apparent. So it's kind of like, oh my God, that's half that dungeon's missing. All right, that was an easy one to complete. But anyway, yeah, well, think of it this way. Yeah, exactly. Trove is basically a fun game to play, but it was never designed 100% correct. Like, I mean, it's basically the game is run under an old gaming engine. That's what causes the most of the crashes and problems. But now it's not to say the game is not playable and it's not streamable. But you just can't do long streams with it. Like, I mean, you're lucky to get, like, say, sometimes a 2-hour stream or three. I think the longest one I've got, like, is 2 hours and 48 minutes or something like that. And then I just stopped my stream because I know it was going to crash. Less than 15 minutes later, it just flatlined. I was like, oh, sweet. I just stopped it just in time. And, like, I mean, just timing it for when it's starting to crash, you can almost tell. Like, I mean, is that you get used to it, you get used to Trove that much. Like, I mean, you know it when it's going to actually glitch or when it's going to crash about 85 to 90% of the time. And it's just like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But on the other hand, like, I mean, you can stop it from crashing on your stream. Well, basically, you got to end your stream to not show up on your stream. But I've had a few videos there, you know, when it actually crashes, it'll basically stop some stream. And I've been telling people, I've got to stop my stream. I can't, basically, the screen and everything will lock up. And basically, I can still speak to people and stuff like that. That's great. It's great for a conversation piece. Because once it locks up at the other end, I'm like, okay, I can actually make this work. And it's like talking to people, like still answering their questions and stuff like that. But the screen is absolutely locked up. It's like, oh no, you know. And then basically, yeah, it happens quite a bit. Like, I mean, I know the game could be done better, but that means you would have to go along and revamp the whole entire system, which it would be a lot more painstakingly to do so. So that's exactly what I look at. I'm just glad, like I said, I don't have to restart all over again and spend all that much time. Now, I don't mind going back to even try the PC version of it, but I've seen some good positive because using OBS versus using the web browser and so on and so forth to play in this game. But is it actually worth going back to ground zero? And I'm just trying to figure out if it actually is or isn't. To basically to go back and to say, starting right from the beginning. Yeah, it can be. It can be if you're at least when you're playing it. Sometimes it's enjoyable to watch, but yeah. I know, I know. Like I mean, but it's a fun game to a point. But I do agree with you 100%. Like I mean, when it comes to watching the same stream over and over and so on and so forth, that is why sometimes I try different games. But some of the games that I do stream, but the thing is, some of the games I do, I live Trove. Yeah, you don't love Trove, you just live it. I gotcha. But when it comes to it, I find that when it comes to the overall aspect of Trove itself, like I said, it's not a failed game. It's not. Yeah, but it still works. But yeah, I like I said, I love Trove itself too as well because I've been playing this game for so long, and I will tell you this: I know this. I know it looks like the game is made for, like I said, the younger audience. Well, there's a certain part of it. It is. But a lot of the younger audience, like a lot of the kids, like about 13, 14, and 15, always comes and asks me, how do I play it? That's the thing. And then I've got to teach them how to play it because I'm so used to playing Diablo. I'm used to all these different types of games. And funniest thing is, for me to basically teaching people, that's what gets me to come back to this game. Because I have absolutely got nothing else left in this game to actually collect, really. A little bit of mastery from here and there. But it's not like, oh my god, I'm going to get a bonus or a benefit from it. All I'm going to get is new skins or something I don't have collected. What is that? What is that? What is your question, my friend? Yeah, you can ask, but what is your question? Yes, it is. Well, possible. It's like doing a delve. You got pretty much almost the same chance of getting it. You just get a little bit better chance of doing it because you're not running the portals. But you get a roughly about the same chance. One of the guys were telling me, and I noticed it myself. When it comes to it, someone said for about every 3 to 4 hours they'll get one piece. And there's a lot of people out there as well that done the same thing as the other person, and they might get one piece every day. So, like I mean, all the drop chances still RNG, but you're guaranteed to get something. Like I said, sometimes you do the delves, and you might take about yeah, right. Like I mean, it depends on. For one, yes. Sometimes you might get it, and sometimes you won't. So it's not guaranteed. Nothing is. You got to remember, if you played Trove long enough, nothing is guaranteed in this game. Like I mean, you could be grinding for months, and you might be looking for that one specific thing, and you can say forget about it because of how hard it is to get it, and so on and so forth. And it's basically a drop chances for certain things. So yeah, like I mean, it's what it is, you know. And like I said, I wish the drop chances and stuff was better, but it's the way they design the game itself, and basically they made the RNG for people. So like I mean, it's what it is. Like I mean, you can't complain about it, of course, because you can't do nothing about it. And of course, we're basically stuck what we're doing, and this is it. Like, I mean, I was trying to get back in one of the events. I don't know if you've done the event itself. I was trying to get the pachyderm, and that's basically the mammoth mount. I still don't have it. And it's the only thing I really don't have in the game. Reason being, they put it in the delves. It's 0.5 drop chance. Less than 1%. And there's only a handful of people that got it now on console. So it's very, very rare. It sells for, well, there's actually even rarer now, but it sells for about almost 20 to 25 mil. Just because of the drop chance of it. It was a horrible, horrible way of actually putting that out. Oh, okay. You need dragons. You need dragons. I'll show you exactly. I've got a new character started. Well, a fairly new character. And I'll show you exactly how much like this one's traveling with. This one is 8K light. Almost 8.1K. I'm still missing 2 more dragons that will give me light. And, well, actually, no. 1 dragon gives me light. And they'll give me 8.1K. But that's without a permatorch. Now, I'm going to show you something. With a permatorch and stuff like that, this is my Shadow Hunter. This is why I use it more for grinding. This one's got 10,000 light. This one is with the permatorch and all the rare stuff in the game. That's what all the dragons and stuff I currently have and so on and so forth. So that makes a great big difference. So that's exactly how that works. So, yeah, like, I mean, for me, I'm still working on the last dragon for PvP. And let me see what the stats will give me. Give me a second here. I'll be able to tell you right quick. Because I'm very close to getting it. Like, I mean, I bet halfway. But I'm also working on the other mastery, too. So I'm doing a bunch of stuff all at once. See, this one I've got 99 of 150. And I can go for this one or that one. I'll have 2 of those. But I've also got the dragon. I've got like 48 of 100. So if I do it today, I'll have 49. You get 1 fragment. So that's why I look at. I don't bother to get the fragments because they're kind of waste until I get the rest of the mastery first. Then I can go back and get that dragon, whatever I need after, because I can get the Bomber Royale coins pretty simple. Basically, I'll get so much every day. I don't do PvP a lot because of the way it works. But, like I said, I've got almost everything else in the game. So, this one gives me critical and magic find. But let me see what's the main stats of one of the other dragons. There's another dragon that is on the new part of the world, and I'll let you know in a second. Let me get back to the Crucible for a second. I'll be able to let you know. Yeah. I don't like it either. It's just garbage. I love the old PvP to a point, but it just become absolutely garbage. And now the thing is, let me see. No, I'm looking at the hatch dragons. This one I don't have. This one gives me the magic find, which is basically the PvP one. Then I've got this one, which gives me the jump and magic find once again. And then this one at the very end gives me 25 plus more light. Plus then if I get this one itself, now this one and this one is actually found in a new area. And that one you can craft, and that one is in this zone itself, in the map. You get parts from the Sundered. Now, if you get like an effigy or something like that, or spend real money into the game, you can actually do it that way. But if you want to get it, what it requires souls. You know, when you get like the battle trophies from the monsters, like these, like these here. Like you get the trophy, you can actually loot collect them from there, and you'll get the souls. Now, it's rare to get the souls. It's not guaranteed every single monster or anything like that. It's a very, very low drop chance to getting those. So just let you know, there's not an easy dragon to get. Like I said, I've already got one of them from Candoria. You do the Candoria dungeons. And that one itself, I'll show you exactly what that one looks like itself, so you know exactly what it looks like if you do go and pick it up. Now, you got to keep on doing the dungeons. It's a little bit easier to get. Now, I've got the Forager as well. The Forager is actually another one. That's the one. Okay. This is the Forager. Basically, it looks like a bat. It does fly, whatever the case may be. It looks extremely weird. It looks like it got veins and whatever the case may be up in its wings. It's a little bit different. The other one is actually, it looks like a cotton candy snake. You know where the celestial one is, the fire one. It looks like that, but it's different. It's definitely different. I'll show you the other dragon later on. I find it certain dragons in the game, like I mean, they're only reskinned, from other dragons or basically mounts. Like, I mean, there's a mount that looks like basically the Gonda, but it looks like a crystallized Gonda, which is kind of stupid in a way, but I mean, it's just another version of Gonda. But it doesn't give you the blocks or nothing like that. It doesn't give you nothing special. I'm just going to kill myself there. Whee! So I can get the 2 quests done right quick, so I'll be able to show you that dragon. Like I said, I don't do PvP. I don't care for it. I'll go in there, get my bonuses done. So I don't waste a lot of time into it because of that reason. Now, I'll show you the other dragon as well. The other one actually is... I'm going to go wrap these first. Now, I've got all my my event ones done, but I'll show you what the other dragon looks like. It's both. There's one in Legendary, or they're both in Ancestral. Let me see. Bismuth, no, that's an old dragon. Let me see. No. Like, give me a second here. Yes, the Everpuffed. It's basically kind of like, yeah. But this is what the Everpuff looks like. It looks like the chopped down version of the other dragon. It doesn't even have animation. It just adds absolutely nothing. It just does, yeah, it's just weird. It looks like basically a chopped down dragon. It doesn't even have a tail or nothing. It's just like, no. It's like, this is the one you get from Candoria, though. This one actually gives you a little bit more stats. It doesn't give you a lot. I'll let you know the stats this one gives. So just in case you ever get it, I use it only for the stats. I don't use it for nothing else. Now the Everpuffed, it will give you stability, health. Stability is absolutely useless in the game, and it'll give you the 50 magic find. The only good stat in this dragon is the magic find. It's just like that. So yeah, it's just kind of a waste. Dingles, how are you doing, my friend? And welcome to the stream, of course, as always. Like I said, great stream last time, dude. Like I said, keep up the great work. Hopefully I'll be able to catch you in your next stream as well. Like, I mean, I've been trying to catch everybody, like I said, during the night, whatever the case may be, or whatever to the stream. This is why I started doing my morning streams, so on and so forth. You just got back from shopping. Awesome, dude. Did you buy me Did you buy me anything? No, just kidding. But anyway, I'm just showing off some of the dragons that looks actually extremely weird. They don't even look like dragons. It's like, But anyway, regardless of that, the other one I was showing off earlier, like, I mean, it looks like veins and stuff going straight through it. They look just too weird. They don't look like that. Oh, you got some snacks. Yeah, sweet. Let me see here. Yeah, I just went to the store myself. This is why I'm a little bit late in streaming myself. I got some cheese. I got some bacon. I'm thinking about making a bacon and cheese and a potato wrap. Like, I mean, and make layers into it and basically bake it. Oh man, like I said, it tastes yummy. I did that a couple of years ago actually, but it's expensive. It's an expensive meal because it requires 3 pounds of bacon and hot pot for tea. How the heck do you do a hot pot for tea? I can't see myself drinking bacon. That's got to be weird. I don't know. I never heard about that one before. And I've been working with food for a lot of years. So, yeah. You got to love those hot... well, I can understand Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets are really good. But hot tea? Yeah, so I can understand hot tea, but bacon? I can't see tea and bacon going together. Not like that. I can see drinking tea with bacon, so you can get the sweet and salty and everything else. Chris recipe. I don't need that. I don't need that. So I can actually sell those too, just to make an extra bit of flux. But anyway, yeah, regardless of that, like, I mean, yeah, I can't see the putting them two together like that. So 2K for that, 1.8. So I'll sell that for that. I'm not going to get much more for that. Tea dinner. Okay, that sounds a bit. I don't know. It sounds a bit odd. But I'm not saying it's it's that weird. Into a point. Like, I mean, people, eat biscuits and stuff with extra salt on it and stuff like that. So, or butter, or whatever the case may be. So, this the bacon. Oh, okay. So it's like kind of like a potato pocket. Okay. Interesting. And what I mean by potato pocket, you basically bake it with a little bit of cheese, and the cheese melts over your potatoes to hold the potatoes together, and basically makes it complete like I said, a bacon pocket. Yeah, yeah. Well, I know what we used to do in restaurants back in the day. We used to basically have different menu items too, and so on and so forth. And one of the ones we used to do is take hash browns and take a little bit of bacon grease itself and fry up the hash browns itself and be able to do it that way. So we used to basically just not add salt because there's so much salt already in the bacon grease. We used to use just a lightly coat and basically do it that way. So it actually came out really good that way. Like, I mean, you basically still get the golden brown and so on and so forth, but you also get that like bacon flavor going through your potatoes. So it's really nice. Just a little bit different, something different, like say for mornings or whatever the case may be. And then you can serve it with, like I said, different toast, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different things. Like I said, I don't waste nothing in the kitchen. I know how to cook just everything in the kitchen. Like I said, I'm basically a trained chef myself. I just can't find no work that actually would pay all my bills for where I'm living to. Yeah, I done the same thing. I worked in restaurants. I worked as a line chef. I done all that stuff. Done all the fun stuff. Like, I mean, I like working with people. I like working with food. So, like, I mean, I'm a slave to the kitchen. To put it that way. Like I said, I love doing that stuff. I always did. Like, I mean, I know so many different recipes and stuff like that. People wouldn't even think about putting it together. And I used to do, like I said, my own mashup of foods that, like, I mean, basically some of the items that I used to do would end up on the menu. And certain things didn't. Like, I mean, I just do my thing, my own thing in that way. Oh, I never did do baking that much. I'm not saying I don't know how to bake. It's just that no, I never really got into it because there's so many bakeries and stuff like that. And sometimes buying something, I know it's nicer to have something else fresh right out of the oven. But what I'm saying is like for fresh bread and so on and so forth, because it tastes better. Because you can just layer it with a little bit of butter, whatever the case may be, and a lot of yeah, cakes and stuff is okay too, to a point. But for me, I never really got into baking. Like I said, I got into everything else. Like, I mean, I know how, like I said, how to cook just anything. Like, did you ever try basically take a steak? You basically want to basically tenderize the steak overnight with just a little bit of barbecue sauce. And like I said, to do it kind of a marinade. But you put a little bit of garlic and stuff in with the barbecue sauce and leave it there for 24 hours. And then basically when you take it out of the fridge itself, because where it's chilled, and what you want to do with it then is basically add just, you don't use oil. You don't use the oil whatsoever. What you want to do is just basically use, going back to the bacon grease, once again, just to use just a little drop of it, just to get the salt. But then you got pepper, salt, and then you get barbecue sauce. Basically, you'll have the most tender steak you ever had. And it just starts falling apart. And it works. Like, I mean, I know different things that would work with certain foods. And like, I mean, it's not just about bacon grease either, but there's certain things that you can actually use instead of basically making a waste in the kitchen. And basically, just the different things you can do with potatoes. Like I said, you can make a sour cream potato or basically mashed potato. Like, I mean, I don't know if you ever did this in the restaurant. Take a baked potato, scoop it out, make a mashed potato with just a little bit of butter, put it back in the oven, basically let it crisp up, and then you get a crisp on the outside and also in the middle. Then you can basically put just a little bit of chives and stuff like that on the top. It's not a loaded potato. It's called a stuffed potato. There's a difference between. And it works quite well. And it's really, really good. Like, I mean, there's different things that you can actually do. Like, I mean, I could give you a list of foods that basically you would want to do them almost right away because they're that good. Like, I mean, I know about almost probably 7 different ways of baking a potato. Seriously, it's just ridiculous. And it doesn't have always to do with butter and stuff either, or basically heavy salt. Like, I mean, there's so many different ones you can actually use. You can use sour cream. You can do with different things like that. And yes, some people are getting hungry when I'm actually talking about food. But hey, it's what it is. Like, I mean, it's my profession. Like, I mean, I'm a gamer. I'm basically a chef myself. I know how to do different things. I'm also a PC tech. I basically try to help people build computers and stuff under a budget and so on and so forth. If you don't have the money, and I basically can give you summation of how much it's going to cost and so on and so forth. So you'll be able to use it for streaming and so on and so forth. But it's not too much good for gaming as of such. It's good for, like, say, running the OBS and stuff. You don't need a very expensive computer to do that. So I try to give people ideas of actually making that and so on and so forth. So they're not spending a lot of money. Like, you can spend $400 or $500 on a computer, which is pretty decent, and upgrade it gradually as you go, as you need it, and basically make it work that way as well. So, like, I mean, I can do all different types of advice. I can give, like I said, recipes. I can give different things, and basically do the whole entire 9 yards. And something that I learned how to do, like I said, since I've been 16 years old. So I love doing all that stuff. I've been working with computers since I've been 6 years old. Like, I mean, I'm very avid in that. Right. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to spend a fortune, like I said. You got to think of it this way. Setup, like I said, depends on if you get RGB lights. Like, I mean, I've got my keyboard. I've got my mouse set up for that. My mouse and keyboard cost me a little over $300, but it's a full, basically Corsair. But the Corsair set I have are all steel. They're they're only for the buttons and stuff, but it's a lot of steel. You got counterweights into them and so on and so forth. So if you find yourself having, like I said, the carpal tunnel syndrome that's starting to happen with your wrists and stuff, you can change the weights of your mouse and so on and so forth, and basically customize it to your own game style and so on and so forth too. So, and it's got really good DPI. If people don't know what DPI is, it's the response time of the mouse and so on and so forth. So you'll be able to get that better DPI and so on and so forth. So you can be able to do it that way. Okay. Right. Well, I started building my computer the middle of 2021. And of course, the only thing I could get back then was a 2070 video card. Everything else I actually could get. Like, I've got a 5800X processor. I've got 64 gigabytes of RAM for streaming. Like I said, I spent to me with what I spent into it. I spent about close to $8,000 Canadian, but it's guaranteed for a lot of years. Yeah, well, well, basically you can get the lower end video cards, but you got to remember, I started off when everything was really overpriced. But now you can build the same system I got for about $2,000 at most, and that's what all SSDs, NVMe's, and everything else. You can spend a heck of a lot less. But the thing is, it's just what it is, you know. But I love building computers and stuff and so on and so forth, and I needed to have a computer that's going to last a good few years. Like, I mean, I never really wasted money, but since the market was actually so messed up, and I had the money back then, anyway, I said, screw it. I said, I'll build it. And like I said, now the parts I can actually get for replacement, it's a heck of a lot cheaper. So I can go along and get replacement parts for that, the heck of a lot. Oh, okay. So you got a GTX 750. Nice. That's still not a bad card. It is dated to a point. You're not going to run like too much off there, but you still be able to use it for a bit. Like, I mean, it's only, like I said, it's a streamer card. It's no good for Bitcoins or anything like that. My 2070 was made for bit miners. No. But the 2070 wasn't a TI. It wasn't nothing special. They didn't have no limitations on it. They didn't have no limiters. So I basically sold that to another person to get my other card, what I'm currently using. I sold that for, I think it was like $350 or something like that. But I bought it for $1,200 because of the GPU shortage. And because I wanted to have something that's not going to glitch and cause me issues. And that's the only reason. I wasn't stupid when I bought it, but I wanted to have something a little bit better than the 1070 and everything else. I went for the 1070, and the funniest thing is, I sold it for $25 less than what I paid for it. I paid $300 off of a guy, used it for a couple of months. Then he basically upgraded his system. But you've got basically, when I look at streaming gear, I'm not too much worried about how much I've spent. And I'm not bragging about how much I've spent on my gear. And some people would be like, hey, man, you're stupid for doing it. But if it lasts a good few years and something breaks and I can buy it for cheaper later, like, I mean, it's basically still costing me money. But the overall aspect, it's not cost me, it's only going to cost me pennies at the end. And that's exactly what I look at. So, like, I mean, like I said, the initial cost in getting it, because remember, I've got like 5.5 terabytes of hard drive space. So I can slap all my games, because I've got the 64 gigabytes of RAM. RAM still in DDR4. It's still expensive. Like, I've got like the, I've got a core. Let me think. Let me see if I can get one of my RAM boxes here. I'll be able to tell you exactly what I'm running for RAM. I'm running the 3200 because the latency of the 4K and so on and so forth. It was basically no. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want no latency or anything incompatibilities. So I was thinking about getting the 4K, but then I didn't bother to do it after. Not to say I couldn't buy it, I just didn't bother. But I'll tell you exactly. I'm using. No, that's an old NVMe. That's one of my NVMe's are only 512 gigabytes, and that's running my Windows. And then I'm also using, but that's a kind of like a SP off-brand. And if it breaks, it's a cheap brand itself, so it's a little bit cheaper than, like I said, using Seagate or whatever the case may be. But if it breaks, I'm only got to replace my Windows, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. But I do have a couple of extra things that I picked up itself. Like, I mean, all my computers are RGB or pretty close to it. My RAM is not RGB, and neither is my back fans. The ones that's pushing the air into the back. I used, I can tell you the name of my fans. Basically, it's about $50 worth of, it's about $100 worth of fans in the back. And the ones I used is the Industrial PPC Nocturias or the NF F12s is what I'm using. And it doesn't have RGB to them, but they push out air a lot better because they got like the fan design and stuff on them, and they'll basically do a lot better job than most RGB fans. Now, there is some that can almost do as good, but I find the controls and everything for them through my case and stuff, they can run a little bit higher on the RPM without making a lot of noise. Like, if you hear me streaming and stuff like that, like Cyberpunk, I'm actually using a desktop camera mic, and you will never hear my my PC at all. How are you doing, Mo? How are you doing this morning? And welcome to the stream, of course. Basically, still doing a little bit of troveness, but yeah, we're just talking about. Right. I've got a little bit more RGB than that because when I actually bought my liquid cooling and stuff like that, I do not. I don't have. I don't have a basically an AIO in my computer at all. I've got the little legitimately the one with the cooler tank and the pipes. Like I've got the soft piped. What was it? Liquid cooling. So, like I said, it's just basically I can refill it without it actually running dry, and the pump will last me a bit longer too. So, for the price itself, yeah, you could do it that way. You can do it that way, but I don't have the RGB. I don't have the green screen, which I'm thinking about getting in the future. And I'm actually thinking about getting some lights too. But I'm not gonna worry about that because I'm only in a smaller room. So I don't have my own personal room itself. I do have a personal room. I'm renting one, but to actually have my own personal room, to basically decorate it, I can't do that. Like, I mean, I don't have space. Like, I mean, I can put a green screen behind me, but I mean, I'm just going to get one of those half circle ones or whatever, or quarter of moon ones or something like that. But I can't use nothing big because I don't have space. I don't have, like I said, I don't have the luxury of some, right. See, the thing is, I live in a room. I don't have like anything else. I don't have like a kitchen. I don't have anything. I'm sharing a space with other people. So the thing is, it's the reason why I don't have the extra space. So with saying that, it's just basically a lot easier to live and a lot cheaper, like for rent. Like, I mean, to that extent. I'd love to be able to have my own space, but I mean, it's really expensive down here. It's like $2,000 just for a single room sometimes. Like, I mean, for a bachelor apartment, or just say you got to live with somebody to enjoy. And I'm still living with people anyway. No, because the way the economy and stuff now is in the world, it's gone so screwed up. You can't do stuff on your own anymore. Not like you used to do years ago, which is kind of sad because I would love to be able to have my own spot. But for me to have my own spot and so on and so forth, you can afford it down here. Like, I mean, the cheapest space down here right now, it's about $750. Then you got your POU. Then you get to add your food. You can't live on just rent alone, of course. You can't plug yourself in and run off the electricity. But what I'm saying is, you're looking at $1,000 just by itself, and you're looking at about $250 to $300 for food and everything else. That is just for a single person to have something fresh and everything else every day. And that's exactly, like I said, the lifestyle I live right now, but in a little bit different way, to a point. But that's why I can afford something every once in a while. If I buy a game or something like that, I can save a little bit of money. Now, that doesn't mean, like I said, I'm rich or anything like that. It's just it makes life a little bit easier to live. But now, the living conditions and stuff is not, sometimes, like I'm after living in really poor living conditions and so on and so forth. But I'm after living, like I said, where I'm living to now, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. But, like, I mean, for the rent and stuff like that, like, I mean, you don't realize it until basically you have to do it yourself. Like, I mean, rents and stuff like that, it's horrible. Like, I mean, in certain parts of the world, you basically pay more for a bedroom. Like, I mean, sometimes you pay $750 for a bedroom just because of there's no regulation or anything like that to the rent. And that's exactly what happens. So basically, the landlord just gets a lot of money. You live in a small, very small spot, and that's just it. And it's horrible. It's horrible when it comes to that. So, you know, it's just, I wish it could be done differently in that direction from my area. And like I said, that's why I said when it comes to trying to get affiliate and stuff and everything else down here, like I said, I'll use the money and stuff like that. Like I said, if I do make anything at all with the affiliate, not from donations and stuff like that, because I don't cry about anything. I don't ask for anything. Like I said, if you're doing, like I said, you're sitting into the lobby, you're running an extra tab or something like that. Like, I mean, like I said, that's just a support. But as I said before, like I said, I can open up multiple tabs myself and just running and get affiliate. But to get the other supports that you need a lot of followers and so on and so forth, it'll take a while. I know that. If I decide to go beyond that, and like I said, to get anything more out of streaming, and that's exactly what I look at. So I mean, I don't know if I want to go that high because, like I said, I'm not there for the competition. I'm not there for the pissing contest. I'm not there for anything like that. I'm just there basically to do what I need to do. That's it. And like I said, supporting you guys is a lot more enjoyment for me in that direction. So, it's just something that I look at. But like I said, it's just something, it gives me something more to look forward to itself. So, and doing that daily. So, yeah. So, like I said, if I'm grinding at a game or something like that, I like to be able to get more content into my channel too, because I like to be able to, like I said, 2023 is going to give me a lot of new content and so on and so forth. And like I told you, if I get back to work and so on and so forth, because I'm off work right now because I'm doing with a surgery. Once I can get back to work, I can start basically putting more money into my gear and so on and so forth and buy a few little odds and ends. I like to be able to still rebuild a computer and using DDR5 memory. I'm not too much worried about upgrading the graphics card because where I'm running a 3070 already, I'm not too much worried about upgrading that since the 4Ks are so hard to get right now. You've got to literally dish out to your own pocket to get it. And, where they're always selling out, it's basically we got basically 2020 happen all over again, which is shortage. But this time it's not a shortage. It's actually way the market is working right now. So I don't know, like I said, within the next year that I could actually get a new video card. But my 3070 is fine the way it is. It gives me the frames that I want to do and so on and so forth. So I'm not complaining about that at all. So, but I'll do that on my own terms, at my own leisure and so on and so forth. So like I said, I'm not complaining about anything like that. And like I said, for donations and stuff, the only thing else I'll never do with my channel, as I mentioned before, I will never ask people for money. If I'm down for a couple of months or whatever case may be with my computer down, it's going to be all on me. And I don't mind doing that. Like I said, work and stuff like that, it just gives me a little bit extra spending cash. It doesn't give me a lot, but like I said, within the next little bit, if I can get a DDR5 memory and get the brand new board and stuff like that, but I'm going to wait for about 2 years before I actually do that. There's a reason for it. Right now, I'm not being a beta test for DDR5 because DDR5 is only about 1 year old, and I'm not going to go out and start buying new stuff right off the hop. Because usually it takes a couple of years for developers and stuff like that of the hardware to get it right. I'm after hearing people getting the 4K cards, they're actually catching on fire and stuff like that because they don't have the right cooling system and stuff like that installed on them at the very beginning. So people are spending 1.5K. Basically, that's throwing money right at the window. So until he actually fixes the problems with the wiring and stuff like that, everything's still beta test. And that's exactly what's happening. This is why I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to be waiting for a little bit for it to be fixed. A lot of people will be like, oh my God, you don't have this, you don't have that. There is a reason why I don't have it. Because, some of these people going along and say, hey man, I got the money in the spend. Linus Tech Tips get stuff as a demonstration and so on and so forth. But he's reading other people as after buying stuff and whatever the case may be. And I'm not just talking about him. I'm talking about Nexus, Gamers Nexus. I'm talking about all these guys that got money to go along and put the new gear out there. So, yeah, how are you doing, my friend? And welcome to the stream. Oh, man, crap. Hey, like I said, first time chatting. How are you doing this morning, my friend? And welcome to the stream. Of course, I'm doing a little bit of Trove. Of course, a little bit different type of game than probably most people are used to. But it is a fun game. It does have glitches and problems from time to time. But it's not bad. It's not a bad game at all. I've been playing this game for a good few years. It's basically, to me, this game is very relaxing. You don't have to, like I said, once you get up into the ranks and so on and so forth, you don't have to worry about too much of anything in the game. So it's a little bit different. Well, basically, it's going a bit slow this morning. Like I said, it's Monday. Usually, Monday's a bit slower to get everybody's coffee needed and so on and so forth. So, like I said, I'm expecting in that itself. And a lot of people were spending... it's not Minecraft. And I'll show you the reason why it's not Minecraft. Okay. Let me go back in here for a second. Now... the character, basically you got your gear here. Okay, this is a part that's kind of like Minecraft. Until you get into this stuff, gems. This is a rip-off, or basically a clone of Diablo 3. Basically, this gem system and your extra stats is like adding paragram and stuff like that to your character. And so on and so forth. But then you also get the paragram system, which is above my, or below my Shadowhunter name there. Right on the bottom of that, you'll see a paragram. That's basically my paragram level. And that's exactly a ripoff of just like Diablo 3. If you ever played Diablo 3 before, you'll understand exactly the way the concept works. And it's pretty much the same way. It's just basically kind of like a mixture between Diablo 3 and, well, I'm going to count it as Monday. I'm going to count it as Monday traffic is what I'm getting at. Because it's only early in the morning. I know it's Tuesday, but it's a Monday traffic. You got to remember, a lot of people are sleeping right now, and there's a lot of people just trying to wake up, and different parts of the world. Normally I don't start streaming until about 10 o'clock, and so on and so forth, so I can grab just a little bit more. But, it's just what it is. I'm still doing a 2.0 on the average right now. Hopefully I can get another viewer or something like that to hop in here. Well, something, it's nice to be able to see you, as well. In that direction. I love to see you stream as well. I love to see all my followers streaming, because I know they're basically full-time streamers and stuff. I'm trying to get there with the affiliate and stuff, but I need to be able to get something that's going to spark my interest a little bit more, because I'm after trying to stream 3 times a day. I'm after doing a long streams, short streams, and everything else. Well, I could do that. It's no trouble to make an extra, the extra Twitch account. I can make, but I don't like doing that. It's like cheating the system, and so on and so forth, But did I still need the followers? I still need the views to make it past the affiliate. That's the thing. And I do have a few followers. I got a few more than I actually need to a point to get affiliate. But see, people look at my numbers right now and they be like, oh my God. Oh, right. See, the personality, I don't know what, like I said, when it comes to that. I'm a very active gamer itself, and I do try to fit in everybody else's schedule too. And I try to look at all I can stream or whatever case may be. But a lot of people, if you're watching Trove constantly, it's kind of like you do that many videos and stuff like that of it, and then it just becomes a repetitive. And of course, I do try to stream other games, but see, the thing is that I'm switching communities, and that's the biggest problem. So if I'm playing, this, say, Assassin's Creed, and that game is pretty much dead until you get it to Valhalla, I do have basically the game Valhalla, but the only problem is trying to get the other 2 games and so on, Yeah, I do have a bot already created. Actually, if you notice, when it comes to that, I do have a bot already running off my phone. I'll show you, for instance. But I'm only getting one account running that way. Now, let me see. Because I can go back to one view automatically. Now, that's why I said I needed one extra view or one extra viewer to make up the 4, because the Twitch only counts as it as 2 viewers. It doesn't count as 3. That's why when you actually do that, you're basically missing that 1 viewer. Now, I'll basically show you exactly what I mean. Give me a sec. Let me find my phone. I got it right in front of me, and I'll show you what I mean. See, I know. That's why I try. I try to help a lot of people out too, because I know a lot of people is trying to get their partnership and stuff like that too, and I try to do all that stuff too. So I'm trying to do a lot of stuff all at once. I'll show you exactly what I mean now. I basically can come in here, because right now I can chat with you on here. Then I can go to my phone, go to my channel, and go to the video. And this is my bot, and I can go along, and it'll have exactly, but my bot will actually show up exactly the same way as my other. So, it does take still 4 people to do it. Even if I make extra accounts to make up the extra viewers, that doesn't mean it's going to actually work. Because I don't know if it's a certain limit or whatever the case to me, you can do it. But I do run an extra viewer, but it doesn't count as nothing. Oh, yeah, that's sweet. And welcome to the stream, of course. Basically, I'm going to be doing other streams eventually with other the Assassin's Creed and so on and so forth. I want to get back into Assassin's Creed. I want to get some new games and stuff like that nobody never seen in years and put it to my stream. And that's exactly what I want to do. I gotta wait till next year. I can't do nothing with my channel until really next year with the new content, because I'm only going to be streaming what everybody else is going to be doing. But if I can get, like I said, the what's it called, the Fatal Frame, which is a really nice horror game, and basically it'll make you shit in your pants if you're not used to horror. Seriously, it's that creepy, because you can still see things floating around and so on and so forth in this game, and you don't know what's going around. And basically, Fatal Frame means the way it's designed, you take a camera and take a picture of the spirits that's in a room. But you'll see a lot of other things that's happening around in that room that you won't be able to tell exactly what's going on. And that's what makes it so scary. It's not a normal, basically a normal game either. It's basically a Japanese title, but it's actually really, really good. I played it back in the day on PlayStation 2. PlayStation 3 was supposed to have a revamp of the PlayStation 2, but what happened is they never did the PlayStation 3 version. They done a PC version, I do believe, to put something else in between, but PlayStation 3 was just basically forgot about. Now, if you basically watch the E3 trailer for that game, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. At the very beginning of the game itself, you're basically a young female, basically starting off at the gates of the house. And you'll find that she's following a ghost into the house. And the silhouette of the ghost and stuff and so on and so forth, it's that much more realistic. It's not even funny. And it looks just like a real apparition. And so on and so forth. Now, like I said, I watch people playing Dead by Daylight. I watch all these people doing all that stuff. To me, compared to the 2 games, this game will basically be crazy. And that's exactly what I look at. And this is exactly what I wanted to put on my stream and put on my channel itself, because I know it's actually a good game. Basically, I know a lot of people are not going to have it right off the hop. And I know people, because a lot of people don't know what a Fatal Frame is, and a lot of people don't even know what Dead Space is. But they're more familiar with Dead Space, though, to a point. But Fatal Frame, since it's an older type game, it'll bring a new audience into that franchise itself, of that type of horror genre. And I will tell you this, it's completely different. I loved what they've done with the overall graphics and so on and so forth of it. They made it a lot more realistic. Compared to the older one. Of course, with the PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 5 graphics, it's going to be a great big jump from that. but it will basically take and make people look at. I think, though, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to have VR support too. So you'll be looking around in a room. People think doing like biohazard and stuff like that for VR is actually scary or spooky, or just puts a different concept to that type of game. Well, basically, a Fatal Frame does what they're supposed to do. It's going to make even Biohazard look like child's play, and that's exactly what I love about those type of games. Like, I mean, I love to see all the classic games and stuff come back in remakes to a point. As long as it's done right. As long as it's done right. Like, when I was actually playing Final Fantasy VII, and I see the remake, like, I mean, the game is still not completed. I'm just going to give it a little bit of time. We'll see what the next part is of the game. But so far, I don't like it too much. I like it for the graphics and stuff like that, because like I said, the areas and stuff looks a little bit more realistic. But when it comes to gameplay, it's that much more different. And but it's not a completed story yet. So I want to see exactly what they're going to go with that. I want to see where Square Enix is going to go with that. I think at the beginning of next year, they're coming out with 2023 in the middle of next year. I think it's like the mid-spring or summer. They're going to come up with part 2. Now, they're only talking about in speculation of the release date of this right now, but they're not absolutely sure. So I'm actually trying to keep up to date with that, because I'm a great huge Final Fantasy fan as well. So I'm looking at exactly that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the second part. I want to see if they're going to come out with the sprawling map or some kind of map system done with the original, and so on and so forth. I want to see exactly what they're going to be doing with that. So there's a lot of games and stuff like that. It's going to be basically not holding my channel back, but like I said, there's a lot of horror games and stuff like that I'm holding off right now. There's only a couple of them out there right now for PC, but it's not much for the console. So I want to have a choice of the console and PC so I can see exactly what the difference are going to be. And I might just watch for someone else playing it first and basically make the difference and see after what the video card is going to be like, or a graphics card is going to be like on the console. If it's not going to be worth the effort, I'll basically get the PC version of it, or I just might pre-order both and just do it that way. I don't know yet. I got to see exactly if it's going to be worth anything and what's going to happen, and that's exactly what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at, like I said, the video FX and so on and so forth. If it's good enough, then fine. If it's not, then I'm going to go along and say, okay, I got to basically make a choice in this, and so on and so forth. Like, I mean, I'd love to be able to play Dead by Daylight and so on and so forth, but there's no content. There is, like I said, a leveling system and stuff into it. I can't say the game is bad. But to me, that's not a horror game. Basically, you stick someone on a hook, and that's it. And you keep on repeating the same process over and over. And like I said, and then you've got one really extremely overpowered character, which is basically the killer. The killer can go along, one tap you, and it's done. To me, that's not much fun to me. I love to basically sit down and get scared to my wits. I like to be able to basically challenge myself to the game as well at the same time. Like, I mean, if you basically see some of the games and stuff I'm after playing, like, I mean, I played the Batman. I finished that storyline, Gotham Knights, which is an okay game. It's not great, but it's not a complete failure either. Like, I mean, in that direction. And, like, I mean, I played a lot of other games, too, as well. I played, like, I played a Hot Wheels game, which is kind of like easy trophies. I tried to go along and make a mixture and match of my channel and stuff, but I don't try to go too far of what I'm actually doing. I still try to basically produce a lot. Like, I mean, I end up basically going back to the same games, but I want to be able to have something that is going to be different from my channel. I want to be able to get into the horror genre and have really good games for it. Especially with the new graphics engines and stuff that's being used. Like, I like to be able to see some more games that's done by Frostbite, the Frostbite engine. I'd like to see Unreal 5 engine. If you ever seen the YouTube video for not Final Fantasy, the YouTube video for There's one guy that's created right now. He's been spending years on it. He's basically every time there's a new Unreal Engine, he actually upgrades the game. But he just keeps on adding more and more stuff to it. Basically, just look under the Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy, crap, the Zelda 64. The Zelda 64 remake on YouTube. You'll be floored compared to what it was from the N64 compared to that. They're using an Unreal 5 engine for it, and it's draw-dropping of what it is. Even though it's an animation, but you can see, like I said, links here moving and stuff. It makes Wind Waker and everything else look like a piece of... but that's just it. Thanks there, Cray, for the rage, of course. And how are you doing, my friend? Like I said, welcome to the channel, guys. And like I said, hopefully y'all enjoy the stream. Like I said, you can always hit that follow button. And like I said, I'm just playing Trove right now. Like I said, just doing a little bit of grinding and whatever the case may be, doing my dailies and so on and so forth. And I've been, like I said, I do support other players. Like, I mean, it's not just following me and getting nothing at the end. Like, I mean, I try to look at everybody's stream and everything else, spend a little bit of time with everybody to say hello to everybody every morning, afternoon, and night, depends on what, like I said, when I finish my stream and whatever the case may be, and basically support other players. So I'm not just going along and just looking for followers, but I'm basically giving the respect and stuff back. So that's exactly what I do. Yeah, I know. Thanks for the raid, man. Definitely. Like I said, let me just do it this way. Let me do the official. Whee! There you go. Perfect. The rats are rated. That's funny. But anyway, hopefully everybody's doing good this morning, of course. Like I said, I'm always streaming. I do stream every morning. I used to try to stream 2 or 3 times a day. But what happened is, like I said, there's not many people. Like, I mean, there's more people in the morning sometimes. But it depends on the day, too, as well. So that's exactly the way I look at it. Like I said, I support everybody day and night. Like, I mean, like I said, I try to do as much as I can. And like I said, try to get people affiliate if they're not already there. I'm trying to get affiliate myself, but it's just a struggle to basically try to get it on my own, which is almost impossible, but that's what it is. Oh, you're doing music? Nice. So what type of music do you do, my friend? Because I got a friend of mine that's actually a DJ itself. He owns one of the IQ stations on here on PC. Okay, cool. So do you do bass drum or do you do bass guitar? Because there's 2 different types of bass, of course. But then you've also... okay, cool. That's awesome. That sounds great, my friend. Bass guitar. That's sweet. What type of bass guitar do you use? Do you use a Yamaha or what? Because, I mean, the different brands will give you different bass sounds, too. And you get different types of woods. And that makes a big difference, too. Like, not all basses and stuff in guitars are actually equal. I got a buddy of mine that basically does a lot of that stuff, too. Oh, Fender's actually really good. Basically, that's one of the top brands, like I said, in semi-acoustic, too. So, yeah, like I said, Fenders have really good lightweight bass, which is really nice. And like I said, yeah, that sounds sweet, bro. Like I said, if you get any questions or anything like that, you can also check out my YouTube channel, guys. Like, I mean, I do basically post up all my streams and stuff from there. Because, of course, where I don't have affiliate and stuff like that yet, I'm still working on that. Basically, I don't have much stream time. Like, I mean, everybody goes through that same process. So I do dump a lot of my videos and stuff like that on YouTube. I do have a lot of them there. Uh, like I said, right now it's a mixed bag of games and so on and so forth. It's mostly on Trove right now. Like I said, I do love Trove a lot because I've been playing this for a lot of years. I know a lot of RPGs because I do play a lot of RPGs or did. I do still play Final Fantasy from time to time. Like I said, I'm thinking about going back, stream it before the next part comes out and do a full run through for that game. So when the new part comes out, I'll be able to actually play that as well. So I continue on with the series and so on and so forth. So, Realms of the Mad God, I did try something similar to that. I know what the game you're talking about, though. But like I said, it is a PC game. I've tried a couple of them itself. And thanks for the follow, my friend, and welcome, my friend. Welcome to the channel. But what I'm saying is, I tried a lot of games. I played. If you really wanted to find out some of the games, I'm after spending most of my childhood and stuff through it. And I'll tell you the website I use. Basically, this is the website. Now, basically, it's one word. And it has all microtransactions, free games, you name it. It has over 3,000 plus RPGs, MMOs. You can buy some games off there too, like the Steam games. There's a lot of other games that's not even listed on Steam, but it'll still be supported by Steam. There is some games that's discontinued. They still get them on the list, but I don't know why they still get them listed, but it's what it is. But it's a great, big, huge list. If you are basically a great, big, huge fan of games and stuff, and you got a computer, basically, you could run a Perfect World. And so on and so forth. Perfect World International got a bunch of games on there. That's the same game, almost the same type of company that made Trove to a point, and so on and so forth. And like I said, there's so many games out there on that one website, and it's a hub. It's a great big huge hub for RPGs and MMOs. That's all they supply. You got some anime games as well. They do got some racers, but they don't get very many racing games. They don't support them that much. They do have a few, but it's not like I said. When you hop into that site itself, the very first thing you get smacked with is all the RPGs and MMOs, Japanese titles and so on and so forth. You name it, they do have it there, and it's a great big huge hub. I spend most of my days playing in that field itself, just off that website. I used to download 2 or 3 RPGs and MMOs every week, just to basically test them out, to see what they look like and play like. I played MapleStory from there. I played World of Warcraft. They do have that listed there. I played Trove. They got that listed there. They got a lot of games that is not even on any console. They just get it's just done that way, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, you can always give that website a check out if you're basically a true gamer and love RPGs and MMOs, because they got such a great big huge list. I spent so many years playing on that site. It's crazy. Right. Yeah, basically, I have the 46K. I'm still trying to get a little bit more rank and stuff like that, but I'm not too much worried about the rank right now, because rank is not even giving me stats anymore. I like to be able to get all the dragons and stuff. I've got 3 dragons left to get, but I'm looking at all the small mastery at the same time. But like I said before, I'm not too much worried about world ranks or anything, but I'm actually still pretty high up there. I've been up in the ranks for a lot of years. I'm in the 26th spot of all power. I'm in the 39th spot for mastery right now. My geode mastery is a little bit off key, because there is one thing I cannot get, and I've been trying to get it for a long time, is the last ally. Right. But you got to remember, but you got to remember, I'm using the console. I'm using the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 version. So I don't have that luxury. I don't like using mods. I don't like using cheats. I'm basically legitimate playing straight true. So if I got it's a bad RNG or whatever the case is, or a bad RNG system, I'm stuck with that. So I don't go along and try to basically change the game or anything like that. Like I said, I like to be able to play it on PC, and I do have a PC account because I got it linked to my console, but I cannot transfer my characters or anything like that over. So it's what it is, and that's what I got to deal with. I don't mind you dealing with that though. It's what it is. Like I said, it's something that I like doing myself. When it comes to that, sometimes, like I said, using mods and stuff like that, it's fun. I don't mind even playing Minecraft and stuff in other games with mods because it makes it look better. Instead of having it all the vanilla, and so on and so forth, I like to be able to actually look at the, if I cut down a tree, I want to see the rings of the tree. I just don't want it to look like, yeah. It looks like some kid painted on there, and it's and so on and so forth. I like to make it look a bit more realistic. Like I said, in that direction. So, yeah. Trove, I don't want to mess with it because it already crashes enough now as it is. If I played on PC, I would still be playing the same game. I would never want to use mods on it just because. Just for it to have a problem, just in case it starts crashing more and starts causing other problems. So that's the reason why I don't like using mods in a lot of games. Same thing, like I said, I know you can get GTA mods and stuff too, and I don't use them because I know GTA's at the very beginning, and I don't know if it still happens now, but Yeah, right. I remember when Trove actually. I know. Like I said, for grinding mods and stuff like that, I don't use them. They never used a mod in itself. Yeah, I know, it's horrible. Well, see, the thing is, I stopped playing GTA and stuff like that, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because I turned around and people hacking and stuff like that, it basically ruined the gaming experience for me. Because what I'm actually doing, I've been legitimate. When I used to go out and make 7 or 8 mil off of doing freaking heist runs and stuff like that with a friend of mine, and we're making millions and millions and millions, I didn't mind doing that. It was basically we were making 7, 8, 9 million, and we didn't even need the cash drops or anything like that, or people hacking money into the game. We did basically done that. And we only spent a couple of hours doing that. We didn't spend a lot of time. We used to look at getting a percentage of, like I say, getting about 4, 5, 600K for every run. And we were like, okay, let's do this for a few hours, and basically to get our runs going. And that's exactly what we used to do. We used to support each other. Which basically, that's what Grand Theft Auto should be. But, like I said, I just basically quit at it because it was just too much. Same thing with Diablo 3. Diablo 3 became hacked and modded so bad, and it's really bad on console. It's not bad on PC. I don't think it is anyway. But, Right. So what I did basically, I'll let you know about my experience with Diablo 3. Diablo 3 itself, when I first started playing on the console, nobody had a modded item. Nobody. But now you find almost every single lobby has a modded character. And I'm like, okay, I'm a legitimate player. I don't use mods. I don't use cheats. I know how to play it without them. I don't look for shortcuts. I basically learn how to play them, and I'll remember exactly how to play them. And I'm not a lazy gamer. I look at exactly what I need to do, and so on and so forth. And it's exactly what I do. I've been doing this for a lot of years. And people would be like, yeah, right, okay. Anyway, regardless of that, this is exactly what I know how to do. And this, when I'm actually doing gaming and sharing information about games and stuff like that I'm after playing. I can hop in Diablo 3 right now, and you'll see my characters. I've seen one person streaming Diablo 3. This is exactly one of the instances that I noticed. Now, the guy still got to post it up on YouTube that he's scrolling through his mods for his gems. That's how bad it was. But he was trying to get rid of it on his screen. He was like, oh no, I'm going to get caught for this. And it was like, oh my God, really? Why in the heck are you even, you know? But that's exactly what he was doing. Like, I mean, the gems does not have a yellow color. And he used, basically, had everything a yellow color. You could tell everything was modded and so on and so forth. And like every piece of gear that he was using. Oh, I know. They do get caught eventually. But a lot of people go back and start playing legitimately. And that is the people that I like playing with. I like legitimate players. I don't like people doing that, you know. Yeah, I know. It's funny when that happens, actually. It is absolutely hilarious because, you know, after so many years and so on and so forth, playing games and whatever the case may be, I see all this stuff, and it kind of irks me in a way, but it's also funny at the other end. It irks me because if I wanted to play that game, and I wanted to be able to get, like I said, get good at it, and I mean really good at it, I mean, if I'm going to go and get playing against someone that's hacking and so on and so forth, sure, I've got one video left on my YouTube channel of people hacking Minecraft. They were actually spawning in stuff that I had basically not the devs, but I had a couple of GMs and stuff like that coming back into my world and telling me I had issues. I know I had issues. I try to handle them as much as I can. But what they used to do is spawn in the command blocks into a survival. And what they used to do is just basically spawn in bombs, basically withers and so on and so forth. So that's exactly what used to happen. Anyway, guys, I just got troved. So just give me a second here. I'll be right back, of course. Like I said, it's just basically trove does freeze from time to time. Thanks to the coding. Woo! Yeah. So I'll be back in shortly, guys, and I'm just going to reset the game, of course. So give me a moment. You see here, I just got to close off the game and do it this way. Trove.